Morning, Frizu. We'll get started here in a few minutes. Let folks to join, and we'll get started. I do have the financial juice up just to get us a preview of some of the news items. Hey, Sergey, some of the news items that are in store for us today, so you can take a look at that. Like I said, we'll get started here in a couple of minutes. We'll wait for folks to join us here. Just kind of getting myself a little acclimated with the markets, and right now I'm looking at getting a feel for what's going on with gold. All right, looks like we are at the bottom of the hour here, so we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so our business is to bring up our risk disclosure. Where is it? All right, there's our risk disclosure. And basically, the risk disclosure is there to let's see if I can get rid of that Grammarly. There you go. Okay, so the risk disclosure basically is letting everyone know the market trader, Ray, the market trader, is here in not in any sort of investment advisory kind of capacity. The information that I'm about to provide you is general information about the market. None of the information is intended as investment advice to offer, sell, buy, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, instrument, or fund. We do know that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk, and it's not for every investor, and that investors should only be using risk capital when engaging with the markets and money that they can otherwise jeopardize and afford to lose without compromising their financial security or lifestyle. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer, buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not indicative of future results. All right, so now that we got the risk disclosure out of the way, we're going to go ahead and move into the news. All right, I was kind of reviewing that before the market here, just to get a feel. Now we all know that we have. For those crude oil traders, we have inventories today at 10:30 Eastern. That's always something that we need to be aware of each week. Generally, it is on Wednesdays at 10:30, barring any sort of holiday, which would cause them to shift it by a day. But today is a normal reporting day, so we're expecting a report here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay, we have some bond information coming out at 1 p.m. We have FOMC meeting minutes. Okay, FOMC meeting minutes. That's a biggie. Coming in at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, and then this last one here is beyond the window of the session, which shouldn't impact us for the day session. Excuse me. All right. Now that we got the news out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look. Excuse me. Oh my God. So let's take a look at the charts. All right. It should be visible now. Excuse me. Oh my God. All right. So let's take a look at the daily. Excuse me. All right. Okay. So the question that we need to ask ourselves is, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, the market has made a series of higher highs and higher lows. Now, the last few days, we're starting to see some overlapping candles here. Okay, we have a bearish candle followed by a bullish candle followed by a developing bearish candle. So I don't know if that's a sign of the market weakening here a little bit at these levels. And I don't know if that's an indicator that we might see a little bit of a pullback in the market. Okay, we'll see how we'll have to see how this candle closes today. But nonetheless, we remain in a bullish trend in the market. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay. So we're starting to make we're starting to create some structure to the downside. We had a relatively strong bearish candle here in yesterday's trading, and that's for now has kind of set the tone for the gold market of late. Okay, so the question now is if the market participants who've joined, excuse me, guys, I'm gonna take a little sip of water here. All right. The question now is it able to make a new low? We're starting to see some structure to the downside. We are below value. Okay, market opened below value, so that's an indication. That's an indication that sellers are in control of the market, and we've remained below. Remained below value again. So we breached the lower end of value. Okay, value area low here. Now we've come back to it, and the bulls have not been able to make any sort of headway back inside value, which is an indication again that the sellers are, I guess, temporarily in control of this market. Okay, so now the question is, are we going to remain in this range? And the range that I'm speaking of is this one right here. Okay, are we going to remain in this range? I'm gonna draw that in as green. Okay, and top end here as resistant. Okay, color that in as red. Okay, are we going to remain in a range? Okay, are we going to kind of bounce between these two levels? That's kind of what we've been doing here since for a couple of days now. Okay, or are we going to have enough, I guess, initiative buyers to cause this market to continue to move lower? Okay, now again, if that were to be the case, and we don't know for certain whether that's going to be the case or not, the reasonable destination for that move would be down right around the source of this bullish move. So it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility here that we could see a move down to where these buyers initiated this up move. Okay. So, like I said, we already starting to see some evidence. Okay. We have price react away from settlement, price reacting away from daily VWAP. And I'm kind of inclined here to go ahead and draw my anchor VWAP right at the top here. Okay. So, and we are in the midst of potentially closing below. We're about 20 minutes away from this candle closing below the anchored VWAP using this kind of double top that we've created here. So let's go ahead and add our levels here. So I'm going to go ahead and add our gold levels that I've captured for this market. We'll go ahead and add them here. Okay. So here are the levels that we're looking at for the gold. All right. So just kind of double confirming some of these things. We're going to go ahead and add ADR here. So ADR is at, what is that? 2571.80. Okay. We have ASR is above that at 2581. Okay. And then we have on the low end, we have 2553 for average session range low. Okay. So those are some of the levels. We've already gotten a little bit of a reaction away from the bottom end, okay, of the average session range, created a little bit of a double top. So for now, I would say that we would need to err on the side of bearish, okay, in this market. All right. Get control of this. All right. So as long as price stays below this value area, okay, then I would have to say that we are in the midst of the possibility of price continuing lower, okay, in this market. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. If I'm bullish on the market, okay, then I would have to wait for lower prices to come into play. This 2537 level seems to be a reasonable level for an opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and open up initial balance. Okay, we have an initial balance range that's being established below the area of value again. So that's another bit of evidence here that we are starting to build some structure here below value, which again could lead us to further price to continue to the downside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the gold market. All right, I'm going to be waiting to see how this candle closes. All right, this is a 30-minute candle, but I'm going to be looking at a 15-minute candle to see how this current candle closes, and if this candle closes as it appears it wants to, then there's a fair chance that it could lead to lower prices here. Okay. We are seeing in volume delta, it's not 100% aligned with the current move. We are seeing some buyers, right, coming into this market, kind of propping this up a little bit, but that could change. Okay. They may or may not have the resources here to keep this market up, but right now the volume delta is not aligned with the price movement as of yet. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I have for the gold market. Not seeing anything in the way of questions, so we're going to go ahead and move to the crude oil. All right. We're going to go ahead and open up crude oil. And as I mentioned, today is EIA. So yeah, this is kind of a day where I'm going to be sitting on my hands. Morning, Keith. Sitting on my hands until this EIA report comes out. But again, looking at this from a daily perspective, we can see that we're in structure to the downside, right? Structure to the downside, coming into an area of demand, right? This area of demand, right? Which again could cause price to bounce off of. Okay. But nonetheless, we are in bearish structure to the downside. Okay, looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart, again, we see that we are in bearish structure. Okay, we have a series of lower lows and lower highs. Okay, as the market continues to sell off. Now, what's kind of interesting here that I'm beginning to see, and this is probably become a little bit more visible here, but I'm starting to see that we're starting to develop some structure, right? We have little, maybe potential double bottom that's being created here around 73. Okay. So we had this reversal, we had price come back, and then it was met with some more buying. So we technically have not made a new low, right, on the 4-hour chart, and it feels like it wants to maybe this might be an area where price wants to rally from. Okay, we have already developed a relatively strong bullish candle here. We have a developing 4-hour candle that has not really been able to sustain any price inside this area of the candle, again, which is kind of indicating that maybe there's a little bit of a demand zone that's being created here. Okay, now we are about an hour away from this current candle closing. All right, but assuming that it stays this way, then that could be the impetus that this market needs to begin a rally to the upside. All right, looking at the 30-minute chart. All right, so 30-minute chart. Okay, so here we are again. This is a little bit easier to see. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start to recolor some of these things. So this is blue, that's value area high. Okay, this is value area. Let's see if I can capture this one. This one is value area low. Okay, this over here is point of control. All right, so again, that we started to see this on the 4-hour chart, but you can see here that we are starting to develop a little bit of a demand, right? We've haven't been able to get anywhere close to the 73 level, right? Well, I mean, we're close to 73 level, but we haven't been able to breach it. All right, 73 seems to be a little bit of a line in the sand for the buyers. Okay, which could again serve as kind of a potential springboard. Now, we did get some reaction here at 73.60. All right, but you can see here on the left that was an area of prior support. And now support now that we breached it, becomes resistant. Okay, so the question is, do the sellers have the resources to continue to move this market lower? Okay, so we're kind of in this kind of decision point, 73.60 to the upside, I guess resistant to the upside, and we have 73 as looking like support. Okay, this area right here. Okay, so let's see. We'll go ahead and we have already gotten our volume profile. Okay, we're currently inside. Okay, inside, right? So we're kind of temporarily in balance. All right, fair price. So maybe the market is kind of waiting for this EIA report to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and add our levels here. Okay, here are our levels. Okay, in this market, there we are. Okay, so let's just going to double confirm a couple of these. So we have value area high coming in at 73. Well, I got 73. Yeah, 73, 79, 73, 78, somewhere in that range. Value area low coming in at 73.09. Okay. We got point of control coming in at 73.35 or 25. Looks like 25. Yeah. So that's 25. Okay. So let me update that on the sheet here. 25. Okay. And then settlement is 73.17. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up our ADR ranges. So we have ADR high coming in at 74.19. We got that captured. We got average daily range low coming in at 72.05, I think. Yeah, 72.05. We got 72.76 average session range low, 74.32 average session range high. Okay, this is okay. We're up by a couple ticks, but that's shouldn't change anything too much. Okay. So yeah, so right now we are inside balance, inside value. Really nothing much to do, and even more so, given the fact that we have inventory reports coming in about a couple hours. Okay, so really nothing to do unless we decide that we want to take a preemptive strike here. If I had to gather on what direction that would be, I would say that would be to the upside. Okay, given what I'm seeing here, the demand that's being developed, but it still needs to get above 73.60 in order to kind of clear the way for a path back to the highs of was this back to the highs of Tuesday. Okay. Or yeah, basically, that's kind of what we need to see, right? 73.60 seems to be the kind of the line in the sand to determine whether or not this market heads higher or not. Okay. We're starting to see some volume delta. Okay, some order volume coming into the bullish side. Okay, again aligned with our price direction. Anytime we can get volume to support whatever direction we anticipate the market to move, that carries a bit of weight, right? So anytime we see price move but without volume, well, that's probably an indication that the market either is slowing or potentially looking to reverse on you. Okay, so always important to see how volume is aligned with the move that you're expecting. Okay, so nothing really to say much more, I guess, than what's already been said here. We're kind of in the middle of the market. I don't think we're really in a position here to really make a call on what direction. Technically, like I said before, it appears that it's a bit bullish. Okay, I'm seeing some rejection candles to the upside. All right. So I would have to say that I'm kind of erring on the side of the bulls. All right. But I will need to see some further evidence that the bulls have the resources to really make this move happen. And if they do, I'm going to go ahead and do a Fibonacci extension. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a pivot to below here. So 74, given this current swing, seems to be very much in the cards. Okay, assuming we can get this candle to close the way it currently, and then obviously we need to see a break of 73.60. But based on Fibonacci, 74 seems to be very much in the cards, and that could potentially open up these other levels above us. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market. Checking in and seeing if there's any questions. I'm not seeing any questions on the crude oil. Everybody seems to be understanding kind of the feeling and the general sentiment that we have on this market. Okay, so next order of business is to begin to look at the equities, and the equity of choice for most is NASDAQ. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open up that. We're going to go ahead and turn off our ADR levels and our ASR levels, and we'll leave our volume profile because we're going to end up using that here in a minute. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the daily chart. And again, I like pushing the chart over to the left, okay, and basically asking myself, looking at the series of candles that we have here, okay, what is the market trying to do? Well, I think everyone would agree that the market looks like it wants to head higher, okay. And then as I move left, I keep asking the question, do I see further evidence of that? Well, I see a break of structure to the upside. That's evidence. Okay. And am I coming in up to an area where I could potentially see some selling? Yes, I am in an area where I could potentially see some selling. So 19,000, actually basically 20,000 is going to be kind of the line in the sand, I would say, in this market. right? If we can get above 20,000, that opens the door for us to get back up to let's say 20,432, maybe as high as 20,800. Okay. So, but the first order of business is that price needs to get above 20,000. All right. That's kind of also a psychological level, right? 20,000, very big whole number. All right. But it appears on the higher time frame that we are inside a bullish move in this market. Okay. Let's see. For our chart. For our chart, you can see here we're beginning to make a series of higher highs and higher lows, right? All the way up, right? Series of higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, all the way up. We've broken some structures to the upside, again, giving us further evidence that the market continues to remain bullish. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the volume profile and start to begin to think about adding levels here. So first thing I'm going to do is going to recolor these. Okay, that's my value area low. That's my value area high. That's my point of control. Okay. All right. See right here. Right here. All right. Okay. So right now we've reached a value area high and we're starting to see a little bit of rejection, but we've been kind of in range since yesterday. Okay. We remained in this kind of value area range and price still remains in this value area range. We haven't really breached value in any direction, maybe because of the FOMC minutes that maybe they're waiting on those minutes to really pick another direction. So we've been kind of bouncing between the upper end of value and the lower end of value, again, indicating that we are ranging balanced, okay, in an area where people are feeling that we're fair priced, okay. Once the FOMC minutes come out, maybe in 2 p.m. Eastern today, that view may change, okay. But for now, we have to use kind of range strategies, range kind of trades. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and add our levels here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and add these here. Okay. All right. So here are our levels. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and open up ADR here. We're going to open up ADR to the upside. So that's above us, I think. Don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So that's coming in around this 19,000 level. Okay. And if I turn on ASR, I think that comes in right at 20,030. Okay. 20,030 is kind of what we're seeing. All right. That 20,000 level. Okay. All right. So that's our ASR. So just going to double check on some of these numbers here that we have. We have value area high coming in at 19,859. Value area low coming in at 19,788. Point of control coming in at 19,833. And then we have settlement at 19,809. All right. So again, so as long as we stay inside this value range, as I mentioned before, we have to look for range kind of strategies, okay, in this market. All right. Assuming that we get a move after the FOMC minutes, assuming that we get a move in either direction, we start to break value in one direction or the other, then we probably can take some maybe more trend-based kind of trades. Okay. But until that happens, it appears that we're going to be in this in kind of range type of area. Okay. Let's see. Initial balance, we're still a ways away from this market opening. So there's nothing said there. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I have right now. Like I said, it seems that the market is waiting on some news, waiting on some further information to decide on where they want to take the market next. Okay. So we have to remain patient. Okay. For me, I would probably, me personally, probably steer clear of the equities in general. Chances are that we're not going to get the kind of sustained move that we would normally get in a normal environment, given that we have FOMC minutes coming in later today. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and open up the ES market here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. We're going to go ahead and turn off some of our indicators here. Okay. All right. And we're going to go ahead and open up the daily. All right. I don't expect that it's going to tell us anything different than what we're seeing on the for the NASDAQ, but we want to check nonetheless. Okay. So again, if I press this chart up against the left-hand side of my chart, you can see that we made a series of higher highs and higher lows. So again, we've broken some structure to the upside, indicating that we have enough buying resources to get through some of these areas. What's the next area? What's the next area that price can head to? Well, I don't see any reason that where price cannot get back to 5,700, maybe as high as 5730 before it makes any sort of significant move back to the other direction. Okay, so we'll take a look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart, again, similar story. We continue to make a series of higher highs and higher lows in this market. All right, we've broken some structure to the left here. So yeah, nothing here indicating that the auction is stalling. All right, it seems like there's a fair amount of interest in this auction to the upside. All right. All right, let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. Okay, so 30-minute chart. We're going to go ahead and open this up here. Okay, I think I've already drawn in my some of these levels. So let's recolor these. So I don't like red for my value area high. I like to have it in blue. Same goes for my value area low. I like to have that in blue. You're welcome, Frizu. Okay, and then my point of control. All right. So right now, unlike the let's remove this, unlike the Nasdaq, the S&P is showing indications that of some potential initiative price action to the upside. Okay. Why do I say that? Well, we have price is above value. Okay. And I would say that as long as we can stay above value, then I would have to say that the bulls are in control of the market. Okay. I think when we were looking at the NASDAQ was kind of hovering inside of value, right? So the ES is giving us a slightly different picture. Okay. It's a little bit more bullish. Okay. So my sentiment based on this is a little bit more bullish, just given where the price location is, given where some of my price reference levels are, and where price is in reference to those levels. Okay. So let's go ahead and capture our levels here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and add those here. Okay. Here are our levels. We'll go ahead and add on the ADR level here above us. I think it's above us. Yes, there it is. Okay. So we have 56.51 as our average daily range high. We have 55.88 as our average daily range low. And then we obviously will have some ASR ranges. That looks like they're pretty much almost the same. Okay, it has not changed because I think we've been a little bit on the rangy side when it comes to this markets. That's why these ASR ranges haven't changed all that much from day to day. Okay. So hypos. Well, I would say that if we do get above 56.33, okay, and remain, obviously, in order to get above 56.33, we're going to stay above value area high. Then that it could lead us to a move higher. Now, the question is, how high can it go? Well, Fibonacci will tell us that it can get up to this, basically this high here at 56.4075. Okay, this is the last. This is basically the open of the market here. Seems like it could easily get back to that level. Okay, based on the structure that I'm seeing, we've already broken some structures to the upside. We've come back to retest it, and the buyers remain interested so far. Okay, so we'll see what the market will hold when the market opens here in about wow 26 minutes. Okay, so but for now it seems that the sentiment of the market is bullish. Okay, if we can get price to remain above value, then I would say that the bulls are very much in control of the market. If we do begin to close, if we close back inside value, okay, and start to break maybe some levels here, reference levels. Let me go ahead and add this anchored VWAP because I think that's going to serve as a reference for me. Where is that? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw an anchor VWAP on this, basically the low of the London. Okay, this is kind of the low of London before it started its rally. Okay, so as long as price, notice how this anchor VWAP is staying right on top of value area high. Okay, so we have two data points of confluence on the importance of this level. If price remains above this value range or value area high, chances are we could potentially see a continuation of our rally to the upside. Okay, as long as price stays above both the anchored VWAP, in this case, also value area high. Okay, if I'm bearish, well, I would say that we need to wait for some higher pricing or to see some evidence of bearish price action, and that would be closing back inside value, closing below anchor VWAP. Those would be some events, some price events that I would need to see in order to kind of sway my opinion. Right now, I would say that my view is bullish on the S&P. Okay, all right. So checking to see if we have any questions. I don't see it, so we're going to go ahead and look at the YM. Okay, the Dow. All right, Dow again is going to be similar. I would think to what we're seeing. Okay, in these other markets, I have not established any levels here on this market, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off some of these things. All right, and you can see of late. Okay, you can see of late that we have basically inside this kind of a bullish move. Okay, bullish structure to the upside in the Dow. Right, I continue moving left. We're coming into an area where I could expect some sellers. The Dow has not made it quite as high. Yes, absolutely, Diego. Yes, if you're enjoying these reviews and analysis, encouraging me to do more of this by subscribing, by hitting likes, by leaving comments on YouTube, because that could open up the door for more during the day kind of sessions. Thank you, Diego. All right, so here we are up against some areas where we could expect some resistance. Okay, I think if I recall correctly, the NASDAQ and the ES in this aspect were a little bit further along. They had already kind of crossed above. Okay, price has managed to get above some of this structure. Okay, to the upside. All right. The Dow seems to be a bit lagging in that aspect. All right, but that could also offer us an opportunity, right? Since they're relatively correlated markets, right? So this is lagging. Nasdaq and ES in particular could lead the way to further upside move in the Dow. All right. So looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart. Here we are. Okay, I'm going to turn off this warning here by turning off this indicator here. So we are, again, continue to be in this kind of structure. We've been in a little bit more of overlapping price action of late. Okay. So again, indicating that maybe there's news in the horizon. Market participants do not want to make any sort of big stake in this market until they receive or understand what the news, what the FOMC mini minutes will provide, and then at that point they'll kind of reposition themselves for whatever direction they think the market will go. Okay, but nonetheless, we are still in a bullish, structure to the upside. Again, we're seeing a little bit more rangy kind of pricing of late. All right. Basically, market is waiting for some additional information as to where they want to take this. Okay, so looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, again, overnight really hasn't really tipped its hand all that much. Okay, overnight's been relatively flat. Okay, in this market, we remain right around value. Okay, similar to what we were seeing in the ES. Okay, market is slightly above value. I say slightly, right? Value area high is right here at 41,015, right? So again, as long as price remains above, okay, I don't mind if it peaks in, as long as I get some rejection, as long as I don't get a close, then I have to think higher in this market. Okay. Not only will I be waiting for that, but before I would participate, I would probably want to see a new high. Okay, in order to participate in this market, because I am seeing that we have not made a new high of late, and I am seeing that we are receiving some wicks on the upper end, indicating that we have some selling above us. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up volume delta since I don't see that it's here. Okay, volume delta, just to kind of get a look and peek to see what kind of pressure are we getting in the market. Well, the pressure is to the downside. Okay, the bigger candles have the bigger volume bars have been to the bullish side. Okay, so again, as long as we stay above value, a value area high, then I have to think that the market is headed higher. Okay, so let's start to capture some of our levels here, and then we'll go ahead. So we have ADR high here. Okay, so ADR high is coming in at 41,149. 41,149 is our average daily range high. Our average session range high is also coming in at relatively around that level at 41,234. Okay, that's our average session range high. Okay, and then we have average daily range low. Okay, that's coming in at, let's see if I can get to the bottom of the chart here. Average session range, average daily range is 40,801. Okay, that's our average daily range low, 40,801. And our on the average session range side, that's 40,705. Okay, so basically what I'm getting from these indicators is what is the potential range of the market? Are we talking which report are we talking about, Ricky? If you're talking crude oil, that's 10:30 Eastern. If you're talking FOMC minutes, that's 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay. 40,705 is my average session range low. Okay, 40,705. And then what else? I'm going to add here my volume profile. Okay, this is from Monday, so I'm going to go ahead and move this over here a little bit to Tuesday. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try to see if I can do this. Tuesday, we're going to go to the end of Tuesday. And then we're going to move this start from Monday to Tuesday as well. Okay, so this is going to get moved to Tuesday at the open of the market, which is at 9:30 Eastern. Okay, so there's our value area. Okay, value area. I'm going to go ahead and move these lines. All right, so my value area high, okay, is much higher now, right? You can see that we're well above. right? Well above Tuesday, and flirting with remaining above where we were on Monday. Okay, so again, these are all indicators that that we could potentially see higher prices. Okay, um, higher prices. Again, for me, it's going to be important now for price to remain above value in order for me to participate in any sort of long move, because I do see, looking at this to the left, looking at it to the left, I do see that we have a fair amount of selling in this area in the past. Okay. So right now I'm also seeing that we are kind of, I don't know, developing a little bit of a double kind of top here, right? A lot of overlapping prices here. Okay. So my value area high, I come in here at 40,997. Okay. Value area high, 40,997. Okay. Value area low, 40,938. Point of control at 40,960. Okay. We have settlement at 40,949. Okay. All right. So these are kind of the levels that I'm looking at in this market, guys. All right. So as long as price stays above value, I would say that we are bullish. If price does manage to get back inside value, okay, and potentially break some of this structure to the downside, then we could see a full rotation of value, okay? But I'm always kind of leery, all right, when we have so much kind of structure here that, we could easily, take a peak below, get down to point of control, or even settlement and reverse, okay? So again, given what I'm seeing on the higher time frame, I'm going to be a little bit guarded, okay, when it comes to the short side of the markets, okay? All right. So let's see. I think that's pretty much what I have to share on these markets, guys. I do have a fair amount of time here remaining for my kind of hour slot here. So if there is another market, I'm happy. If you want me to take a peek at another market, I'm happy to do so. If not, then we'll go ahead and close off this session and basically move more focus on the open of the equity market. So we'll give folks a couple of minutes here to see if there's anybody has any interest in any other market. I'm getting a thank you from Sempedia. You're welcome. So it looks like there's not everybody has had their fill of the markets that they are paying attention to. So we'll leave it at that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and close the session, and we close every session with thank you, Mike. I'm hoping that you got something of value. Again, I encourage you guys, and I think I'm going to resonate. I'm going to kind of follow up with what Diego has said earlier. The likes and the subscribes and the comments are the lifeblood for any content provider. Okay. If any of this resonates, if any of this supports your journey, if in trading, don't be afraid to hit the likes, add comments to my recordings up on YouTube, because that will encourage me to do a little bit more. Right? We could potentially have this be live reviews and live sessions. But I have to make sure that I have the audience to make those kinds of things happen. Okay. All right. With that, we'll close, and wishing you guys to trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader, guys. All right. Have a good day. Have a good day of trading, and I will see some of you in de nada, Diego. No falo Portugués, but un poquito de español. But thank you, Diego. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate your support, guys. Yeah. So I'll see some of you in the coaches room on Top Step. Okay. Others of you I will see in group coaching later today, also on Top Step at 6 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Central. Okay. You're welcome, Diego. Thanks again for the kudos and the encouragement. I appreciate it. All right, guys. That's all for me now. For me, enjoy, trade safe, be patient. Don't anticipate levels. Don't anticipate moves. Wait for the market to tell you when it's time, and then react. Okay. All right, guys. Good day of trading, and I will talk to you later today.